Hello there friends, it's Ashley here from The Loopy Lamb and theloopylamb.com, and today we're going to be checking out this new yarn I found at Michael's from Yarnspirations called Bernat Bounce Back. So at the beginning here we're going to talk about the yarn, what it's like, and then I will pause the video, do some swatches, and come back to share my findings with you. So if you're ready to get started, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to my channel. So as I said, the yarn is called Bernat Bounce Back, and on the label it says of it limited time only, and I've only seen it at the Michael's store locally. I haven't even seen it on the Yarnspirations website as of yet. It retails for $11.99 Canadian, and because it has the Stitch to Win contest on it, it has been excluded from any of the Michael's sales up until this point. But let's turn it over. It says it is part of the Color by Nature collection, and the color I have here is Frosted Blue. Now, my local store only had, I think it was 5 different colors, but taking a look at the Michael's website, it looks like there should be 3, 6, 8 colors available of this specific yarn line. It is a size 5 bulky weight yarn, and this is a 225 gram ball, which has approximately 285 yards or 261 meters. It's 96% acrylic and 4% polyester. The recommended hook size for this is a 6.5 millimeter or USK hook, and in a 4-inch swatch you should be getting approximately 11 single crochets and 12 rows in that swatch. For you knitters, they recommend a 6.5 millimeter or US 10.5 set of needles, and in a 4-inch swatch you can expect to get 14 stitches and 20 rows. This is machine washable and dryable, but again, because it has that acrylic content, it shouldn't be ironed or dry cleaned. Now, what intrigued me about this beyond this really pretty muted teal color was the fact that it's named Bounce Back. What does that mean? And it does have an interesting texture, so my initial thoughts were maybe because about the texture thing, I'm not sure. So I went to the Michael's website, and what it says is, bounce into softness with Bernat Bounce Back yarn. This light and springy yarn has all the warmth and all the cozy softness without the heaviness. The bouncy new texture brings a lightness to home decor projects of all kinds, from Afghans to pillows. The bulky weight of Bounce Back stitches up quickly, and it's machine washable for easy breezy care. I did notice that it is quite light, or lighter than I expect for a size 5 bulky weight yarn in a skein of this size, but I don't know about how it will like bounce back into a stitched project. So that's where the stitch swatch will come in, and we'll see what that means. But I don't know if you can see this on the camera, and we might be able to just kind of isolate it a bit here for us. And this does have a plied texture. It almost looks like a roving at first glance, but or that it's wrapped with a string. But if you twist it in the opposite way it's plied, you can find that it is a 3-ply yarn, and each strand in the ply is very fuzzy and has these little this knobbly texture, to be scientific about it. But yeah, it definitely has a unique texture. It's not completely smooth, and as I've looked at some of the strands while I was waiting in line to buy it, some of the strands are not like perfectly circular. Some of them appear to be flatter or more square than others. So I'm really interested to see how this will work out. So at this point, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to go stitch up some swatches, and then I'll come back and share with you my findings of what it was like to work with this new Yarnspirations Bernat Bounce Back yarn. I am back, and I have finished my swatch. I have created a larger swatch than normal with this, and for this I used a K or 6.5 millimeter furls streamline hook here. And as I do with all my swatches, I started with some single crochets, worked into half doubles, and then did some double crochets up at the top. Then for fun, I added some textured stitches up at the top. I have a thicket stitch section here, and then at the top I have some herringbone half double slip stitches at the top. So I really, really loved working with this yarn. It was absolutely a pleasure to work with. It was very soft. It actually was softer working up than it feels in the ball. It creates a delightful fabric. I still don't quite know what the bounce back entails. I didn't feel like it plumped up or anything, but I mean, without having to try to figure out the name, the yarn was an absolute delight. It has a softer stitch definition than I would have expected in my initial thoughts of the yarn because of the knobbly texture created by the ply. I thought it would have a potentially stronger stitch definition, but I guess that without that, it would potentially have an even softer stitch definition. But I really like the way it looks in these thicket stitches here. It's really, really pretty. And I didn't have any issues with splitting or anything like that. I did encounter one knot. It's right here. So I got probably about 25 rows before I found this little knot. Nothing crazy, but it was just, I like to tell you everything that I found with the yarn. And so overall, I would buy this again. I really like it. It makes me sad when I find a yarn line from somebody that is limited time only like this, because I want to buy a whole bunch of it and make a whole bunch of things, but then limited time only, it makes me a little hesitant because once it's no longer available, sometimes it can be hard for people to find yarn substitutions for those projects. So because I have one of the balls here, I'm probably going to make something small with it. And I'll share that with you guys here on the channel. It will likely be something like a hat or something, or a small pillow. But I do want to try and create a project from this because there's no point in just having one ball hanging around. So if you have used this yarn, I would love to hear what your experience has been. And if you have made something from it, I'd love to hear what you made. So leave those comments and questions that you may have in the comment section below. And I'm happy to help you with any questions that you may have regarding this yarn. If you enjoyed this video, I hope that you hit that like button and please consider subscribing to this channel. If you enjoy free crochet patterns, please check out my blog, theloopylamb.com. Thanks so much for watching, friends. Happy hooking, and I'll see you next time.